Hello everyone and welcome to Passion Talk, an inspirational and immersive series of talks by the Times of India and Times Passion Trails.
Magic Moments Verb Music Series presents Tales Behind Cocktails.
Our immersive mixology masterclasses, where experts talk about their craft, stories, inspiration and the passion behind it. For this series, our experts have specially curated subject matter for each masterclass, taking us through the magic moments of illustrious journey and narrating them with verve like only they can. So get ready to be inspired. Our guest today has over 16 years of experience in the beverage industry. Specialization in bars has given her a robust experience and understanding of consumer, industry as well as trends. Meenakshi Singh is the co-founder of Cocktails and Dreams Speakeasy, a multi-award-winning iconic cocktail bar established in 2012. It is a bartender's bar specializing in customized cocktails, great bartenders and a beverage program that was much ahead of its time in India. Speaks, as we lovingly call it, has won Best Bar, Best Cocktails and Best Ambience for the last 6 years by Times Nightlife Awards, along with number 3 ranking in 30 Best Bars India in 2019. Her second bar, Sidecar, is an artisanal cocktail bar meant to redefine the cocktail industry. Established in December 2018, Sidecar has already won the Times Nightlife Award and is regarded by top publications and connoisseurs as among the top bars in Asia. Welcome to Passion Talk, Meenakshi. I'll start from the start. 16 years it's been that you've been in this industry. After IHM Pusa, at that point of time, to think of being a mixologist, tell us how did that come about?
Thank you, Amin. It's my pleasure. Yes, it's been a long journey. 16 years is a long time, but I think things have happened. It's a little bit of mix of destiny and also the right people I met at the time, and I got really interested in bartending. I actually started bartending as a part-time job just to make a little extra money in college, and as I was doing it, I realized it's so much fun. It was a very interesting field that we didn't know much about. When you're doing your hotel management, you're not told much about beverages. It's only you're stuck to wines, and at that time the future was sommelier, and maybe someday becoming, of course, an F&B manager, etc. So the ladder was pretty clear. Along that time, I realized that this is not the ladder that I want to go up to. So, and I met really great people at the time, and I think I was really lucky, and things happened, yeah, that's how it worked.
So starting as a mixologist and then owner of 2 hugely, highly regarded bars. Take us the journey of cocktails through all these years, and how did you go on from a mixologist to a bar owner?
It's been nothing short of interesting. I was doing like I said, I was bartending on the side. I started working with a beverage marketing firm, Taliho, which was a really new startup in the field of beverages. They were doing a lot of beverage trainings, consulting, and I got really pulled into that. And at that time, I don't know if you know, women weren't really legally allowed to bartend, and to this date actually there are lots of complications to that, and that's another episode you'll have to do on us. But the fact that at that time I realized this is not this is not something I can pursue as a career. My parents were really unhappy that I was bartending instead of becoming a typical hotel manager or something like that. And gratefully, when I saw there is a lot more facets to beverages. I mean, if you are interested in alcoholic beverages, there's also marketing, there's sales, there's advertising, there's a lot of things you can do in that area, right? And while still knowing or loving what you do. And I found my own space in that sense, and then I got a really great offer with a liquor company that I joined after that, and that's how I think I almost became a corporate person, where I was doing my 9 to 5, doing my weekend offs and etc., which was new to me. And after that, I was always in touch with my current business partner, Young Dup, and we were always talking. We in fact made our Excel sheet, which was that's my way of realizing a dream. I make Excel sheets. So I made it in 2005 actually, and we kept it and we kept revisiting it and we kept talking about it. Someday we'll have a bar, and he was a mentor. He was already doing a lot of things. He was a trainer. He's pretty well known. He's an author, etc., etc. So I think he had already arrived in that space, and I was pretty much in that corporate situation where I wanted to get out, but I wasn't sure how to. And almost sometime around 2011, we realized that one of us has to do it, and I quit my job and we started looking for locations, and we did it. So we did it all our own savings and our own. So we took the chance and we took the risk, and here we are today, 7 years in. Yeah.
It is one remarkable journey to have taken the plunge at a time where you were not even legally allowed to bartend, and to pull it off and have that thing running on your shoulders. That must have been, what inspired you at that point of time? What did you notice about this entire cocktail culture that motivated you to take that plunge?
Very early on, when I met Young Dope, I met Vikram, I met Shadbeat. So they were all legends in the industry at that time. And we always talked about cocktails, about how in the West, cocktails they are also part of your lifestyle, you know. It's a very common thing to have a drink with your meal, or before a meal, or even after a meal. But here we were actually stuck in that situation where if you're going out to parties when you drink, otherwise, you know, at best you'll have a glass of wine or a beer, and that's about it. So we really wanted to change that conversation. We were always talking about it, that why can't we have neighborhood bars where you can meet people, or you can meet actually strangers and get to know they are really interesting people who come, and like-minded people you can chat about. You can, you know, we can host live bands, and we wanted to do a host of things. And I think we almost always wanted to create a bar for ourselves first. And it started like that, where we always talked about it that, you know, I would like to go to a bar where I can take my dog. You know, it's simple as that, right? That's the vibe, right? I don't want to be in that, especially North India, and Indian drinking culture was, oh, what watch you're wearing, and, you know, which car did you arrive in. The conversation was never about quality, it wasn't about drinks, it wasn't even about, you know, what the techniques are. Nobody knew what bartenders were. They were just glorified waiters behind the bar, literally. So we wanted to change that, and I think we have been able to do that. It's been a tough one, and at that time there were good bars. There were good bars, like, I mean, I still remember Rick's used to do fantastic cocktails at Taj Mahal Hotel. Yeah. Blue Bar in Delhi itself. Bombay had some, you know, phenomenal bars as well, like hotel bars. But freestanding bar space was still sort of, you know, they were the classic freestanding outlets, but they were not bars which were, yeah, and at that time there was some, so 2012 is, I think, when the conversation kind of, for us, shifted. Yeah.
So 2012 was the year when you actually had the magic moment of your career, where you opened your own bar.
So we were on the cusp of a lot of very interesting things happening in India. You know, a lot of F&B restaurants were opening, a lot of restaurants were owned by chefs. And that was also really, really new for a lot of people, where they didn't see just investors being backed, you know, backing good restaurants. There were also real people who, you know, worked their way up and put in their savings and were doing it for the passion. And I think we were recognized for that. And I think we very early on started making a lot of friends, and which is something I think we never expected. And some really interesting people. We introduced people, they eventually got married and have kids now. Lovely. So yeah, so, you know, so that I think has been our biggest earning. I mean, if I have to really put it, where what has been the most fun thing about this is the meeting the, you know, really, really interesting people, the stories that we've actually gathered. Yeah.
To celebrate that magic moment, what is one cocktail you're going to be doing for us?
So I'm making for you a really nice, very easy drink. It's actually really, you can make it at home as well. It's one of my favorite go-to vodka cocktails, and it has magic moments, and it has fresh coriander, triple sec, and lime. So, and it's muddled and shaken with ice and strained into a martini glass. And it's a really easy, and it's got the herby notes. And I think us Indians are used to eating and having coriander in our meals. And I think it's a great transition from there to you know, from your food to drink. So it's a really simple cocktail, and I thought, I mean, it's just the perfect weather for that. 45 ml of Magic Moments Verve. A lovely twisted martini.
Thank you. It's very nice. Should we tell Yangdup that I've had a drink better than his?
Of course, let him know.
So we've had our celebratory drink, we've started the place, we've enjoyed the magic moments. Now starts the real drill of owning your own place, running your own place, and also how ready are we as consumers for cocktails. So take us the journey from there till now. What has been the evolution of cocktail scene across the country?
It's been super exciting. I mean, I still remember initial days, we had a tough time selling an old-fashioned or even selling a simple drink like a mint julep, because I think everyone was used to a mojito or a Cosmo at best, or maybe a fruity martini. That's the maximum we had gone to with cocktails. So we had a tough time getting people to just drink even whiskey cocktails or aged rum cocktails was a tough one. And my standard go-to line was that, you know, buy this drink, and if you don't like it, I can have this one. So I think no one gave back their drink because of that. And it was a journey. It took us proper, I think, maybe 2 to 3 years, where Yangdup was day in, day out serving at the bar, and I was actually serving outside. So we were taking the orders, we were customizing drinks, we were taking the drinks back, taking the feedback, and I think being on ground really gave us the kind of, I mean, it sharpened our vision where with cocktails, it really gave us a very good idea about what people want and where people are and where you can upgrade them. So I think that became really interesting. We slowly started shifting people to interesting spirits as well, you know, from say traditional vodka spirits to gins to, you know, rums as well. So try other things as well in cocktails. And I think over a period of time, of course, the last 5 years have been really interesting with cocktail scene. Some really good bars have come up.
Drinks-wise, what would you have noticed?
People have started experimenting, moving away from the fruity, the safe zone as well. They've also gone to a lot more high ABV cocktails. There was a time when people were drinking really spirit-forward drinks, and now people are going to low ABV cocktails as well as actually no alcohol cocktails as well. So these are trends that keep happening over a period of time, and it's good to keep up with them. Like everyone else, you know, it's the West that actually dictates most of the cocktail, you know, trends, the ice programs and the different kinds of techniques which are cool right now. And over a period of time, you have to obviously be, you know, involved. You have to know what everyone's doing. Right now, for example, Hong Kong, Singapore, you know, Japan, all the action is there, and I think the world is looking up to Asian market now to see, because I think the way they are experimenting with flavors, it's really exciting. They have, I mean, we have the kind of seasons we have, the kind of spices that we have. West doesn't have that, and I think we can really, we are in a great position to take advantage of that, and I think we should, absolutely.
One very interesting thing about you and Yangdup and your places is that you say you can never go wrong with classics. You popularize the classics and yet have had a lot of fun doing the classics. So what is that one classic, one magic moment that we're going to be having with you that you'll be doing right now?
So for you this time I've created a really simple classic. It has equal parts of Magic Moments Verve and coffee liqueur, stirred over rice, and really simple, but it is something that you can't go wrong with, like I said, and it's easy to please. Great on the palate, and a very good way to end the evening as well. If you are a coffee drinker, you would love to end the evening with something like this, which, you know, satisfies your palate a lot more. Yeah.
Lovely. Coffee and Magic Moments Verve together. Can't get better. We'd love to see that.
30 ml of Magic Moments Verve. Here you are, yummy Black Russian.
Lovely. Equal parts of Magic Moments Verve and coffee liqueur. Looks good. Tastes very good. So here we are, we've tried the classics, tasted the modern version of a classic. What next, Meenakshi? We've been till here, you've popularized the cocktail scene, you've really done a lot to make people aware of mixology as a craft. Now what next?
So this is a super exciting time to be in India. I feel that, and especially, in Asia, this part of the world, because we are seeing a lot of innovation, lots of creativity, really great people coming outside of their comfort zone and doing a lot of things. I think the conversations are exciting. And the fact that you see so many tonic brands coming in, homegrown brands coming in, beers, there's so much action across for Indian and local brands, and I think this is just the perfect time to be here. There's a long way to go, and we've just started.
Fabulous. Rightly said, we've just started, and I hope that this is the beginning of really good and exciting things to come. Thank you so much, Meenakshi, for taking time out and speaking with us at Tales Behind Cocktails, presented by Magic Moments Verve Music Series. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Amin. It's been a pleasure of mine, and I had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching our series Tales Behind Cocktails by Magic Moments Verve Music Series. It has been an absolute pleasure bringing you stories, the journey of these legends, the magic moments of their lives narrated with verve like only they could have. Thank you so much.
Are you from here?
Just visiting. It's my last night actually.
That's so many moments.
एक रात में पूरी जिंदगी जी सकते हैं.
Try करते हैं.
हर पल जी ले तू अभी, हर लम्हा है जिंदगी.
Magic in your eyes, there's magic in the air.
तो कैसी रही जिंदगी?
Every moment was magic. There's magic.
Make every moment a magic moment.